Hello, this is Mr. Martinez. I'm with the Tiger Rock Martial Arts in Portland, Texas. We have two schools. We have one here in Portland and we also have one in Rockport. But what I'm here to do is to show you guys how to use a punching bag and a couple of different ways to make your training interesting and to kind of share with you the differences between what you can do just with hands and then also kind of some things that you can do using your legs with a punching bag. In our classes here, we like to focus on long-range attacks, and so using our legs is what we're going to be the best at, but using our hands is something that we're not totally unfamiliar with. So what I'm going to show you is a couple of long-range strikes that you can do at home on the bag. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with a jab. Okay, I'm going to make sure that every time I do my punch, my knuckles line up with my wrist, lining up with my elbow, and then my shoulder. Also, you can kind of see my hips twist along with my foot at the bottom, if you can see that there. Okay, so here's what it's going to look like. I'm going to just basically just do 5 and put a little footwork in it. I'm going to kind of lunge forward with my front leg, twist my front foot, and then punch the bag. Lunge forward, twist, lunge forward, twist, lunge forward, twist. Now, once you start kind of getting the hang of this, okay, then you can kind of start putting a little bit more power in there. Try to do it 10 times on the left and 10 times on the right. The next one we're going to show you is going to be the reverse punch. Okay, like the first one with the jab, I'm twisting my front foot. With the reverse punch, I'm actually going to twist my back foot and then bring my whole hip into the punch. So I'm here, 1, 2, 3, my back foot's twisting, 4, 5. Okay, making sure that when I punch, knuckles line up with the wrist, lining up with the elbow, and then again at the shoulder to create extra power. Also, you can combine this with the first technique, which is a 1-2, okay, do a jab reverse combination after you get the hang of both of those punches. Alright, the next thing we're going to show you is going to be how to do a front kick. So the way we do front kicks in our Taekwondo classes is we bring our knee up first. Chamber the knee here, and then we extend the foot out with the ball of the foot there. Okay, I'm going to set it back down behind me, and this is a very easy technique to learn and to get the hang of before you start moving on to more advanced techniques like round kicks and side kicks. So all I'm going to do is going to get into a good stance. My back leg is the one I'm going to engage. I want to make sure I turn my hips into it first, bring the knee up, engage the front kick, bring the knee back, and then set it back down behind me. Okay, all together, just going to practice it about 5 to 10 times on each side. Okay, now this might be different for you if you have a swaying bag, so make sure that you kind of move around with it so that way that swaying bag doesn't knock you off your balance when it comes back into you. Alright, the next kick we're going to show you is going to be the round kick. So for my round kick, I'm going to combine it with my front kick. But before we start off with that, I'm going to use my front leg for the round kick. A lot of times when people see round kicks, they normally see it from the back leg. Okay? The round kick is going to come around the bag to the outside. Now, I'll show you from this side so you guys can see what a round kick looks like. Traditionally, I bring my back knee across and hit the bag at the top. Okay? And this one's going to be a little bit more difficult when it comes to balance. So what we like to tell our students is to pivot their back foot first. And we always start by teaching them on the front leg first because it helps them with pivoting that foot. Now we tell them to point the knee, and they're pointing the knee at the target. Okay, then we engage the round kick, bring it back, and set it down. Okay, and all you want to do is just practice this a couple times on each side. So I'll pivot my foot so that I have good balance. That way I can bend my knee. If I can't bend my knee backwards, what happens is when I pick my front leg up, I'll tend to roll over my ankle, which you don't want to happen, especially if you're doing it on a punching bag, which will knock you off balance every single time. So, start off real light, pivot your back foot, point your knee at the target, extend the foot out and kick, and then set it back down. Do that about 5 to 10 times on each side. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to combine the first two techniques. So we're going to combine the front kick, which is from the back leg, and the round kick, which is going to be off the front leg. So all I'm going to do is take my back foot, kick, and if this is a swaying bag, this is good for me because as I lean back into my back leg to do the pivot, okay, I can also be moving away from the target, which is coming back towards me. Then point my knee, round kick, and then get back into your fighting stance. Okay, so one more time, I'm going to take my back foot, kick, bring it back, set it down behind me. And as I set it down, I'm already turning it. You can see my hips starting to rotate a little bit, so that way when I pick up my knee, it gives extra power to that round kick. Alright guys, now what we're going to do is going to put it all together. We're going to start off with that jab from the front hand, that reverse from the back hand. Then I'm going to bring my back foot up, do the front kick, set it back down behind me. And also, as I set it down, you can kind of see that I'm kind of starting to fall and rotate my hips inwards. Okay, and that's going to help with that round kick. Okay, and then I can do that over again. 1, 2, okay, I'm going to bring my back leg up, attack the back here. Then I'm going to set this leg off just to the side a little bit. This makes me fall forward just a tiny bit to the side. and giving me a little bit of a different angle off axis to do a good round kick on the bag there, okay? I'm going to do that a couple times. Just, okay, and if you do that about 4 or 5 to 10 times on each side, then you'll be doing pretty good. To make your workout a little bit more interesting, put an obstacle that you can use for agility and to bump up the cardio just a little bit more. Also, it just keeps things interesting while you're trying to work out at home and you're trying to keep things different every single time. So what I have here is an agility hurdle, but you can use anything. Sometimes I'll tie a string from one wall into the bag, and that's something that I can use to jump over. Or you can just place something down on the floor, like just a piece of PVC like this, that you can put on the floor and you can use to jump over. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to jump over the hurdle, land on the other side, then come in, do my 2 punches, and then move back. I'll switch my legs so that way I'm facing to the hurdle. I wouldn't recommend you jumping over the hurdle backwards unless you're a little bit more advanced and have good coordination. Jump back over, okay? Now when I've jumped over, I have the other side. Okay? Do the same thing, move back, switch my legs, and then jump over. Okay? I can do the same thing with my kicks. Okay? 1, 2, move back, switch my legs, jump over, now I have the other side in front. 1, 2, move back, switch my legs, and jump over again. The last kick we're going to show you is going to be a side kick. Now this is a pushing kick, directly aimed for the middle of the bag. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my knee up. I still have to take my back foot and turn it to the back, and I'm just going to put my heel on the bag. Okay? Bring it back and then set it down. So practice this a couple of times, keeping your hands up, pivot your back foot, bring up your knee, push, and then bring it back, set it down. Always make sure to bring your leg back, especially if you've got a swaying bag, because if you push too far into it and you miss, you might fall forward a little bit and the bag will come back and hit you. So always remember, compress, extend, compress, and set it down. Now, a couple of strength and conditioning drills that you can use using the bag and some of our Taekwondo kicks. One is going to be a side kick squat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off in a squat position, getting my hips open a little bit, and as I stand up, I bring my feet together, do the side kick, bring my feet back together, squat down and do it again. Bring my feet up, bring my feet together, side kick, bring my feet together, squat down, and then do it again. Now for the front kick variation, all we're going to do is we're going to drop one leg back into a lunge position, and as I come up from my lunge, I bring my back leg forward, kick the bag, and then set it back down behind me. One more time, bring my knee up, kick the bag, bring it back, set it down behind me in a good lunge position. And those are a couple of ways that you can use strength and conditioning mixed in with some of your bag drills and your Taekwondo techniques.